Meanwhile, Washington, which also claims to be fighting Islamic State, is not impressed with the Syrian government's gains against the terrorists.
I'm not going to laud it, and I'm not going to laud it because it's important to remember that one of the reasons Daesh is in Syria is because Assad's brutal crackdown on his own people created the kind of vacuum, if you will, that has allowed a group like ISIL or Daesh to flourish.
OK, well, let's get more on this story now from Ghiani Chikian. She's following events for us in Washington. Ghiani, which side are they on?
Well, Andrew, while many in Palmyra and in the world may cheer that the ancient city is about to be liberated from Daesh, the U.S. State Department was not sure. Take a listen.
Are you hoping that they push Daesh out of the city?
All of that under consideration, we, of course, our priority, and I said this yesterday, is defeating and destroying Daesh. That remains our priority. And yet, we also recognize that replacing Daesh's barbaric rule with Assad's tyranny is not a great trade-off or a great solution.
Well, State Department's Mark Toner said trading Daesh for Assad is not a great choice for Syrians, and that's when the journalist began to ask him whether the U.S. would prefer that Daesh continue to control Palmyra. Only when really pressed on that question, the spokesman conceded that, quote, "We think Daesh is probably a greater evil in this case." What was also interesting, when first asked about the reports of the Syrian army making advances against Daesh in Palmyra, Mark Toner spoke about alleged violations of the cessation of hostilities agreement by Assad's forces. He was immediately asked if he meant that fighting Daesh in Palmyra qualified as such a violation, and he said no, that was not what he meant. But had he not been asked persistent follow-up questions, he could have created the impression that the Syrian army was doing something wrong by trying to retake Palmyra from Daesh. OK, thanks, Ghiani. It was RT's Ghiani Chikian there live from Washington. Well,